This episode is really going to pop because we are talking about our pops on this episode of
Scooch
Good
ovaries.
Alright.
Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch ovaries. Well, I don't think anyone should say you're not punny, Robin. You're very punny.
I feel like I'm breathing heavily into this microphone too. So if you hear a lot of like abnormal breathing, it's just me. It's just me talking in my little walkie-talkie headset. So
Yeah, just pretend we've got the added feature of ASMR if you need that, and it's just Robin breathing.
I
You just sound like a Bob's Burger character now. It's, fuck was that?
I listen to it too much. But yeah, so this should be airing on the weekend of Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all those who celebrate it. And
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about dads, baby. Let's talk about pop. I don't know. I don't know.
did you call your dad dad or did you call him anything different?
When I was real little, when I was a wee little mare, I called him daddy.
Mhm.
And then I called him dad. And I noticed some of my siblings began calling him daddy again as we got older. And I thought, well, what's happening? But that was just their comfort zone. But no, my dad was always dad.
Yeah.
D-A-D. My mom is ma, but my
Ah,
dad was dad.
yeah. I feel like that's very much a New York thing. Like especially the ma thing. Like the East Coast, I shouldn't just say New York.
Hey,
The
ma.
East Coast. Hey, ma. Yeah, where, yeah. I do, Daddy, I feel like is a very Southern thing. Like a
Mm.
lot of Southern people will continue to call their dad Daddy. And, I mean, it's whatever floats your boat, whatever you want him,
Yeah.
whatever your family does is
Well,
fine.
my sister Jeannie moved to Denver, so that's not in the South. And she just started calling my dad daddy after he passed away. But I think that was just a comfort thing for her.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I mean, especially after, once he's gone, maybe the memory of her it strikes more back to like childhood
Yeah.
than as adulthood. So,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. So, one thing I can say about both of our dads, I feel like veterans, right? Of foreign wars.
Um, my dad
I'm
was in the
wrong.
military, but he didn't fight in a war. He was part of the Cuban Missile Crisis, but he didn't fight in a war.
But see, that's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
That's like a great story right there that he was in the Cuban Missile Crisis because not a lot of people could say they were. I'll bet it was very limited.
Yeah, and I guess I could say this now because it's been what 60 years, but he said they didn't he was on the ship going to Cuba and they didn't really give them like weapons to fight. Like he felt like he was very underprepared and they were
Oh,
sharpening their bayonets or something. Like he said, it was kind of scary. And then I think President Kennedy called it off or something, but they were very ill prepared. The government at that point was ill prepared. I don't know if we should maybe say that, but
well,
it's a story. I remember him saying like,
yeah.
they were sending them into Cuba for this thing, and he was like, we kind of didn't have all the stuff we should have had.
Oh my God. Well, I feel like we're talking about something that was 61 or 62 years ago, so we should be safe as far as military secrets go. I think we know more about their personal habits, like the presidents and stuff, than we should. So I think it's okay if we share a little bit about the lack of preparedness.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why it was called a crisis, right?
Yeah, and again, that's like my dad's memory of it, and he told me about it. So it could be like telephone too, like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do remember him saying like, yeah, I think they were like sharpening their bayonets or something. Like they were having to MacGyver this military operation whilst he was this Marine on this. I can't remember if it was a submarine or a ship, but yeah, he was just like, oh my gosh, there should have been more organization to it.
Not the way he would have done it.
Yeah, no.
When I'm in charge, it won't be a crisis.
Well, yeah. So, and your dad, he was in World War II.
World War II, the China Burma India Theater, he was basically a grunt in the beginning. He was just a infantryman in the army. He was drafted. He did not voluntarily go. He wanted to stay. He really liked it here. He was going to have a job at Domino Sugar. Prior to that, he wanted to be a photographer or a sportscaster, but he was sent off to war as a young man and had dysentery and all the things you get. So he
Oh
ended up getting
gosh.
real skinny. He ended up watching all of his buddies die. And
Oh
as it
man.
goes in war, when your buddies die and everyone around you dies, you eventually get promoted. So a lot of people came home at that were our age and older because my parents were older when they had us. Um, my dad was 41, my mom was 37. So we had older parents. So our peers' parents were younger. But
Hmm.
my dad was a tech sergeant when he left the army, the war, because everyone died. So you got promoted. So he was in the signal corps, which meant he sent radio signals and stuff like that to people. And they would use a slur for other folk and say send more, fill in the blanks, like things like
Oh
that.
gosh.
I won't say it,
Yeah.
but he used to joke about that and funny stuff. But yeah,
Hilarious.
yeah, he was China, Burma, India. That's what he always said. The CBI theater, and I'm like, I don't know what. But now I know people who had people in the same situation. It's harder to find them now because we've
Yeah.
lost so many of our World War II vets. That's why I was excited when they built the World War II monument in Washington D.C. And it's one of the things I really want to go check out because thanks to Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks and their obsession with World War II, we've got a lovely memorial now in D.C. and hopefully it's still there and hasn't been renamed or moved or put
Oh
under a
gosh.
tarp or a Triumph Arc. I'm not sure, but I know last time I went to DC, I feel like the Vietnam Memorial was new. They didn't even have the Holocaust Museum yet, so I'm overdue for a DC trip.
Oh yeah, gosh, yeah. I haven't gone to DC probably since I was 10 years old. It's been a very long time. But
Hmm.
when you were talking, it got me to thinking, I think your father was the same age as my grandfather, because my grandfather was in
Probably.
World War II. And so
Yeah,
if you're a little bit older than me and your parents were a little bit older when they had you,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah, and that's common. Most people, they know their grandfather was in World War II or that he's already died. And my dad died fairly young. He was only 66 when he passed away,
Oh gosh.
which to me is young
Oh yeah.
because I'm almost 30. I'm almost 30. Did you hear that one? I'm almost 33. I'm exhausted.
I'm very, very young.
I'm almost 63. So I'm only 3 years younger than my dad was when he passed away. And I thought he didn't seem like an old man. And I don't feel like an old man either. So that works out.
What year did he pass away, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, no, I'll talk about that all day. It's death. I could talk all day. Well, no, it was
Well,
February 16th, 1989. I was 25. Me and Moggy, my twin sister, we were 25, which I look back now and I used to think that was like average probably for people, but I know now that's way too young to lose your dad.
oh gosh, yeah. The reason I ask is my grandfather passed away in 1986,
Uh,
and I want to say he was mid 60s, maybe anywhere from 64 to 66. So they probably were the same age-ish. So
yeah, I
probably my
think
grandfather was a little bit older, but
I think a lot of men came back from World War II with things that were going to kill them already. I'm sure he ended up with a heart that didn't have any muscle in the back, so I'm
oh
sure the
gosh.
illnesses strained his heart. And I'm not going to pretend he didn't smoke. He smoked the whole time except the last couple of years.
I was gonna say my grandfather, he was stateside, I guess. He
Mm.
was in the army, but he never went overseas. But no, he smoked like a chimney. Like he smoked and smoked and smoked.
What
And then
brand?
no, probably Marlboro. No, he smoked Marlboro, and then after literally like his second heart attack, he had like a filter. Yeah, I guess he thought that was a better brand. I don't remember. I don't remember. Because then I kind of conflate my two grandparents because they both, I mean, my, my, the grandfather I'm talking about was my mother's father. And
Mm.
then my father's parents just smoked like a chimney, but they worked for Philip Morris and stuff. So I know they're
Oh,
Marlboro, but I felt like my grandfather, my mother's father, he's Yeah, he had some filtered cigarette, but it was, I can't remember. I felt like it was sort of like the wrapper was kind of like, yeah, like an orange and brown. Maybe had a tiger on it. I can't remember.
Okay, we have to think about that one now. If anyone listening or watching knows what brand that is, let us know.
Is
Because
there
I'm
like a
just, it wasn't,
Salem?
there was Salem, but that was, I know Salem as the menthol cigarette that had a green emblem on it. But that's because it was menthol. Maybe there was a non menthol version that he smoked. But there was also Pall Mall. There were Kent's. There were Chesterfields. I think they were brown, the label.
Mm.
I know my family smoked. My parents smoked Kents. That's what we would steal to sneak smokes when we were kids. Kents were great cigarettes because they had little things in them that left little filaments inside your lungs. Like they, it's like a little extra gift, free with purchase.
Well, since I was only around grandparents who smoked, it wasn't a daily thing for me.
Yeah,
So, like my grandfather lived one town over, like he was probably 10 minutes away from us. I probably saw him two or three times per month. But I think because it wasn't day to day,
yeah,
and both my parents just despise smoking, so I never grew up with it in the house.
sure. Oh,
Yeah.
Camels were another. Did I say Camels? They're the unfiltered cigarettes. And then we had Merit was another cigarette.
Merit,
It
that's
was
it.
Merit.
We
Yeah, that
smoked
was a big
Merit.
one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was popular with my cousins, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah. It
were.
was definitely
Yeah,
Merit.
that's it. But my sister Jeannie, she made you remember those yarn string art? Not string art,
Yeah.
but like a yarn. They made like a rug with yarn.
Uh-huh.
She drew and made one that was a box of Marlboro's Reds. Marlboro Reds. We just called them Marlboros back then. We didn't have all different colors, like
Yeah.
they were just Marlboros. And then it became Marlboro Reds, and I'm like, what? And then the lights, and
Yeah.
I was a
Mhm.
Marlboro Light girl, and then eventually Virginia Slims because I'm a classy broad. So
Classy broad.
yeah, but forget the smoke, and we can move on from that. Hey, was your like? Can you think back? Were your grandfathers funny? I'm gonna go with
Uh,
no. It took too long.
my dad definitely wasn't. He was very, very smart. And we used to call him Papa. Oh, he was a nice guy. But I think my grandpa, the one who died in 1986, I think he was pretty funny. He uh he had a really juicy laugh because he smoked so much. And he just so like if he were to watch something, he'd be like
Oh
you
my
could just you could just hear like the liquid in his lungs. But I remember it being funny. Yeah.
You called it a juicy laugh. I call that a tuberculosis laugh.
He did have tuberculosis.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Oh
Okay.
no, because my daughter called me the
Oh,
other day and she was like, I think I have tuberculosis.
oh,
Tuberculosis. That's just sort of like her being silly. And I don't know if you're serious or not. I said, but you'll have to go get like a little bubble in your arm and then you have to monitor the bubble. And she was like, what are you talking
what?
about? I go, oh, well, my grandfather, your great grandfather, he had tuberculosis. And so since, I think it was during like a family dinner and then 3 weeks later he got it. So we all had to go
Oh,
to like the county and get this little bubble in our arm and none of us had it. But
that was the
yeah,
test.
yeah, it was like they put it like just above your skin and it was a little bubble and then they just monitored the bubble and then I think if the bubble stayed a bubble you were fine, but if it went down you had how come I can't say that word? TB.
Just say TB. I say TB
Yeah.
a lot. It's
Yeah.
tuberculosis, but I say TB. I was at a restaurant today, and the little kid was coughing, and I said that kid's got TB. And you shouldn't say stuff like that, but I thought it would get a laugh, and it did. So I said it because I don't care if it gets a laugh. I'm going to say it. Um, yeah, it's we lost him earlier partly because of all the smoking. But the
Yeah.
government literally gave them cigarettes. They shipped cigarettes
Yeah.
to the soldiers. Here's a carton of cigarettes and a piece of chocolate. Good luck with the killing. Like, what?
Well, in the juxtaposition of my grandfather who smoked, my mother's father, my grandmother who was kind of my favorite grandma. She used to smoke, and she went to a doctor, and the doctor said, I'll tell you what, he goes, if you continue to smoke, he goes, you're 100% going to get lung cancer. Just, I don't know how he knew it, but that's the lure. And never smoked another cigarette. She lived to 82. Like,
Wow.
she was just like, oh, okay, that's it.
Oh my God. Look
Yeah.
at that. Oh
And then
my.
her husband, like, then just smoked himself into the grave, literally. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. My dad smoked until the last couple of years, and then he quit at the end when the doctor told him you have to quit because he had a pacemaker. They're like, "What are you doing?" And my mom quit at 50 and lived to 88.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was probably around the time that my grandmother quit was like 50-ish. And yeah,
Hmm.
she just never touched it again.
And
So
that's one of the hardest things to quit, they say.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
And I mean, and I feel like that generation, I don't want to say, I mean, it kind of wasn't their fault. Like they didn't realize it was as bad as it was, you know? They just, I mean, I'm sure they didn't know it was, think it was like eating a carrot stick or something, but part of me is like they didn't go into it with the knowledge that I think people today go into it. So,
Yeah. Well, I think if we look at the world in the 30s and 40s, and you think about Hitler, the Holocaust, World War II in general,
just
nuclear
fun stuff.
bombs, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, I need a cigarette. I'd be like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it's understandable. And a glass of something to drink. When I get home, I'll need a beer, a glass of wine, or maybe a cocktail before I have
Cocktail.
dinner, which I'm going to have wine at. Then we're going to have an aperitif after, whatever that's called. You have a little, but you just keep drinking. But I think that the stress of it, they needed something to help them shut off, and they didn't have TV yet or smartphones. And everybody lived on top of each other, and your whole family like was within a block, so you couldn't escape stuff. And we didn't
Yeah.
care about mental illness then, because if someone did have mental illness, they gave them a lobotomy and put them away, or maybe that was just the Kennedys. But I think that they didn't deal with stuff face to face. And now somehow vaping has caught on, and I think
Yeah.
regular cigarette smoking has started to come back a little bit. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think when vaping first came out, it was like, it's the healthy alternative. It's just water vapor. And then 3 or 4 years later, they're like, you're going to get popcorn lung. So,
Yeah, and the kids were just dying like as soon as they started. It's just fucking stupid. But look, I'm an
mm.
idiot because I did it for so long. But back to dads, if I may.
We took a little bunny trail down Cigarette
Yes.
Avenue.
Now, I want to ask you a question. I never really got into this stuff with your dad, but did your dad like a particular kind of music or movie or art? Like, what's your dad's relationship with the arts?
Oh gosh, I thought he always had really good taste in music. So my parents were divorced, and I would spend the summer times with my dad, and he had a job. I'm one of those people who don't actually understand what their dad did, but he had a job where he traveled a lot, and so during the summer, I would travel with him, and oh my gosh, he liked the Eagles and Don Henley and kind of
Yeah.
70s stuff.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, when my parents were married, they had oh, Waylon Jennings, Johnny
Oh,
Cash, the White Album, Wings. They love the Wings. I knew the Wings before I knew the Beatles. Like that's the household I grew up in.
wow.
And yeah, because it was like the Wings, and I can't remember the name of the album, but it had like all like it had like pictures of Paul McCartney, like what's her name? Linda McCartney, it
Yeah.
was just yeah, and then the other like people in the band. And yeah, so I mean I knew of Paul McCartney before I knew of the Beatles. So but yeah, he had really good taste in music. And my mom kind of always liked country music. So once they got divorced, like, she went more to country, but my dad always liked yeah, like 70s stuff. And Don Henley he liked. And yeah, I thought he always had really cool taste in music.
Yeah, and that's not far off from country, the soft rock of the 70s. It's, now country today sounds like the soft rock of the 70s, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
And there was like a California soft rock kind of, it
Yeah.
sounds like did he like Fleetwood Mac?
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah. That kind of
Wow.
stuff. Yeah. he
That's
really liked.
cool.
And we would listen to it, for hours in the car, like going from wherever. It was always just in the Midwest, like going from Nebraska to
My God.
Missouri or Kansas to South Dakota. Like it was just always like trips that we'd go on. But yeah, I liked it. I've got very good memories of summertime trips, and
Yeah,
I feel like I've seen a lot of the United States because of hanging out with him during the summers. And so
that's very cool. Now, when you hear one of those songs today, does it immediately take you back to those car rides?
yeah, especially like the Eagles and Don Henley and Eric Clapton and stuff like that. That takes me really back. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Linda Ronstadt? Not so much with the girls. Oh, remember how we had a whole thing about who the fuck is Linda Ronstadt? That's right. You didn't know who she was at one point. You
I I know who she is, but sometimes I conflate people. And so
Melissa
we were
Manchester.
I was thinking Melissa Manchester, but Linda Ronstadt, my dad and my stepmom now live in Tucson, and Linda Ronstadt is like the belle of Tucson. And
Oh,
so I went there, I don't know, last year sometime, and I was talking to someone about Linda Ronstadt, and I was like, oh, I think I thought I saw Linda Ronstadt, but I actually saw Melissa Manchester because I know people age over time, but I was like, boy, she is not who I was thinking. She didn't even sound like it. And then when they were talking about like, no, Tucson's own Linda Ronstadt, I was like, oh, I think for the longest time, it's not that I didn't know the two. I just kind of
hmm,
conflated the two, if that makes sense.
I understand.
Yeah.
We've all been there. We've been there. I
Yeah.
It's very funny. I My dad liked, and my mom, 30s, 40s, 50s,
Okay.
and then some 60s at the end. My mom really loved. I didn't say mama. My mom really liked.
Ma.
She liked Elvis. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
yeah. She really enjoyed him very much. Even though you think, oh, Frank Sinatra. She's like, no, Bing Crosby over Frank Sinatra. Also Elvis over all of them. I'm like, okay, okay, ma. All
Well,
right,
did
rock.
she like handsome Elvis or like
Oh yeah, she like
nutter fluffer Elvis?
the one where he looks like he's about to get in trouble. He's got half a grin and that glint in his eye in all those movies. You know he's about to get in trouble and he did not learn his lines and he might be a little high. I think she liked that sexy young Elvis in the movies with Anne Margaret. I think that's the one
Yeah,
she liked.
that was her guy.
She liked
Yeah.
sexy. Oh, she loved the concert where he's wearing all black leather. She loved that
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah, she loved Elvis. She just loved old music. My mom, she was a music fan. But we're talking about that. So my dad loved a lot of the old music too, and my mom was reminded of my dad when I would play songs on YouTube for her that my dad loved and would sing to her. So that made her
Oh,
happy. And there were artists like Vaughn Monroe, the Mills Brothers, Rosemary Clooney, all the girl singers that played with the bands, and of course show tunes. My family we had a lot of albums that were from Broadway shows, and we would listen to those a lot growing up. But my dad could just like break into song, and he couldn't play an instrument. He just liked to sing.
was he good at singing? Could he
I
carry
thought
it too?
he did. He could carry a tune. He had a great voice, and but of course in my family, it's like it's always discouraged. There'll be no singing. Well, it's just everybody's like, oh, you can't sing. And I found out at work recently. Apparently, I can carry a tune because I checked with
Oh,
one of
okay.
the professional ladies. Because I sometimes will start singing a song at work and they'll finish it, and sometimes I'll stay with them and keep singing. And I say, yeah, I can't sing. And they're like, no, you have good pitch. What are you talking about? I'm like, if you could just call the following numbers and let these people know, because I've been
I
told my
can, in fact,
whole
sing.
life I can't sing. I've been told. No, but my dad could sing. He would just start singing something late at night, probably after a couple drinks at a family event, and he would just start singing "Racing with the Moon." You'd be like, "What the fuck is that song?" And he'd just pull out like some old song that you never heard of.
Yeah.
And he liked to sit in the living room in the dark and listen to music like Robert Goulet and have a cigarette. And there's a line in a Carly Simon song where she says, my father sits at night with no lights on. His cigarette burns in the dark. And that, I always think of my dad because, we'd be like, good night, Dad. He'd be like, mm hmm. And he'd be just sitting there smoking, playing music in the dark, and we'd go to sleep. I'd be like, he's fine. It's fine. We don't talk about feelings. But
Although I think
yeah,
back then it may have not have been that odd of a thing because, if you didn't watch TV as much and you wanted to listen to the music and maybe you just wanted to concentrate on the music and not, yeah, I don't think it was is that odd of a. I mean, now it's odd because look at your phone,
Yeah. But he
turn
would,
on the 75-inch TV. It's in your
oh,
house. It's bigger than your wall.
it's true. It's true. I think also he really just went places. Like I jokingly call it time traveling. Like when I listen to a song, I can literally be transported somewhere. My mom's eyes would glaze over when she would dance and hear a song. My dad did the same thing. So to me, you're time traveling. Like you're going back to your living room when you're 8,
Yeah,
listening to the record player, or you're in the back of a car, or with your dad for a car ride, or you're with your
yeah,
mom in the kitchen. And it's and so many movies have great scenes with a song associated with it, and then you think of those movies. And The Big Chill has a great scene where they're all in the kitchen, they start dancing to Ain't Too
yeah,
Proud to Beg. And these are the moments in life that I think are so important. And I often wish, if I were, this is going to sound so vain and selfish, but if they ever make a movie about my life, I'm so interested to see what songs they choose, because I have such a strange, eclectic collection in my head of the songs I love,
yeah,
and it's just all over the place. And it comes from my mom and my dad originally. A lot of the stuff is the stuff they liked, and then my siblings, and then friends. And one of the most important things you can give to someone is new music.
yeah,
It can, so that's something that I think feel like Sarah's given me a lot of hints about music and told me about music that now is some of my favorite music. Margaret introduced me to stuff when we were younger, and I'm like, I love that song. Max has introduced me to music. Corey has introduced me to music. He'll send me links of songs.
yeah,
And when I was in church and real busy with a lot of stuff and not paying attention to real life, and I left the church, my niece Jen sent me 2 CDs, one of rock and one of pop songs, I believe they were. And they were the music I missed while I was going to church.
yeah,
So to me, music is super important. And I got my love of music from my dad, music and movies.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know. Now, did your dad have a favorite movie star or a particular movie that he loved, or was he not really one for that kind of stuff?
Um, I feel like whenever I watch movies with my dad, he would be more. I mean, he's such a dude. Like he would just be like action and adventure and like yeah. So I don't have a lot of memories of watching movies with him, but I mean, he was the type of person like if there was only one TV in the house and he was watching it, he would watch what he wanted. And if you didn't want to watch it, like he wouldn't make you watch it, you just go to the other room. So I think a good part of like his TV watching was probably me going to the other room because I didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
watch. I mean, he's not like in my memory, it wasn't like a lot of violent, like, because my
Right.
stepdad's kind of like that. It's more blood and guts, but his is more a more serious type of movies that I didn't particularly care for. But
No
a couple movies.
westerns?
No, again, my grandfather was really into westerns,
Oh, yeah, my
but
dad was.
yeah, there was a couple movies that I kind of got suckered into watching. Logan's Run I liked, and then
Mm.
there was one that starred a young Emilio Estevez, and his dad he was addicted to drugs, and his dad took him to a lake and got dried out. And I remember watching that with my dad, and my dad was like, "Yep, that's the way you got to do it, because you got to take them away, get them to nature, and just that's what you got to do." So I was like, "Oh, I guess if I ever get hooked on drugs, my dad's gonna take me on a camping trip." It's just,
He took a
okay.
lesson away from that film.
I did. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
ever want to give an intervention. So I want to say it was Emilio Estevez, but yeah, because he was like, I don't know, maybe it was an after school special. I can't remember. I just remember my dad just like nodding, approving, like, that's what you got to do because you've got these kids that are in the city so much, but you take them out and, just let them live off the land. I was like, okay, all right,
Holy
noted.
shit. Crystal Lake, you'll be fine. Don't look at the calendar, because it's Friday the 13th. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't feel like my dad encouraged us to go camping ever.
Oh, I did go camping with my dad a lot. Like there's not because
Oh,
I was on drugs, but we did go camping a lot.
the drugs
So
came
maybe,
later.
yeah, so maybe that's what he was thinking. Like, I'm going camping with my kids on the weekends. I'm a good parent. My
Yeah.
kids get hooked into drugs, going back to camping.
I
So
love that.
maybe that was.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, camping came with my sister Kathy. She loved camping, so she would take
Mhm.
us camping. But my our family vacations were always to a hotel or Howard Johnson's, or they'd rent a chalet for a few weeks in Vermont or wherever, or they would rent a house like for a month sometimes. I feel like it was,
Oh,
or at least
okay.
2 weeks, and we would go up for a week with my parents, and then my siblings would go up. Sometimes my cousins would tag along and just like get it. I think there was a house. I feel like it was by a lake. I don't know if that's from a movie or some. That's a memory I have. I gotta ask Mongie if she remembers that. I feel like it was a July years ago, and we went with my parents. Then we stayed, and then the siblings came. I think,
Oh,
and
okay. That was probably a really fun vacation.
I gotta think about that. Where the fuck? I think it was from Margaret. Will remember. I'll check with her. She'll have. She's like, that didn't happen. I'm like, okay, that's not gonna be the first time we have that conversation. I'm like, I have a memory of a yellow brick road. Like, no, that was a movie.
Oh, you saying that triggered a memory. I know this was back in 1981 because this was the first summer my parents got divorced, and it was right after the Olympics were in Lake Placid. My great grandmother, my grandmother's sister, she worked as like a nurse at a camp in the Adirondacks, and she got to be
Oh,
friends with these people. So we went to the Adirondacks for like a reunion for that side of the family, and we got to stay in this camp, but it wasn't a camp anymore. It was just like our family just got access to this camp. And it
yeah.
was really fun. And I remember we went to Lake Placid and we walked the bobsled trail. That was like a big deal. And
Ooh,
yeah, yeah. So that was a good memory. It was real we went there like June or July. It was real cold. It was still pretty chilly.
the mountains. It's
Yeah.
crazy up there.
Yeah.
I think that's why my parents liked Vermont. Even in the summer, it never really felt hot, hot.
Yeah.
But also, the world wasn't as hot in the 70s. I'm
Oh, it
gonna
could
say
be.
that.
Yeah, and I remember all the kids were swimming and then they were like, "Your lips are turning blue. Get out of the
Yeah,
water." That was like
yeah.
the indicator.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's you get cut, they put chrome on it, and
Yeah,
if you
I come with it all the
get
time.
out of the water when your lips turn blue, and it wasn't like
Yeah,
well, you've got frostbite. We'll just call the EMTs. It's like no, they're blue. Or if
yeah, it's
you
like
get wrinkly, they would
yeah,
kick us out of the pool. You're too
yeah.
wrinkly. I'm like, Grandma's wrinkly. Leave her alone. It's got nothing to do with the water.
Leave your grandma alone. No, and maybe that comes from like being like the daughter of a Marine. He's like, "Ah, your lips are blue. Just wrap a towel around you. You'll be fine. Walk it off."
Walk it up.
Okay, okay.
It's like Eddie Murphy. He's on fire. Roll him around. Roll him around. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Oh my God. Anything else about your dad you want to share? Any other happy memories or fun things? Or what would you want to say to him today if you could I mean, you could pick up the phone and talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm not able to
Actually,
do
I'll
that.
probably get him something from Amazon after we get off because I need to. Because if I
Yeah.
send him something now, he'll get it this week. I
Yeah.
don't know, this is just happy Father's Day. I'm happy he's still around. I can still hang out with him a few times a year.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, good stuff. Good
That
stuff.
is
What
good
would you say to
stuff.
your dad if you could?
Tell me more about World War II. Tell me more about your
Yeah,
childhood. Tell me more about everything. What was your favorite everything? What did you enjoy? What did you hate? What made you sad? What made you happy?
yeah,
What made you fall in love with mom? Just I have like so many questions. Because he died so young, we never got into like a lot of deep stuff. I ended up going through like my teen angst and rebellion in my 20s. So
yeah.
I wasn't super close with him the last couple of years, and I blew that opportunity. And then we did talk about movies, though. We always connected on movies and award shows. That was, I think, our last conversation was about an award show. So I'd want to let him know that did Dustin Hoffman win that year? I don't know, but that's what he predicted.
Oh,
I
okay.
have to look that up. It's weird that he's not here because it feels like yesterday.
Yeah, yeah,
But there's a lot of other great dads out there, and it's important to remember them on Sunday, Father's Day. It's important to acknowledge them and all the work they do, and to remember that really, I mean, when you get down to it, mom's doing all the work. But you did great, dads. You're doing great. Do you have a
yeah.
segment that didn't make it as a segment for us today, Robin?
I did. Let me take a look. My segment that didn't make it as a segment is Is a chickpea a nickname for a garbanzo bean, or is garbanzo bean a nickname for a chickpea? Like which came first, the chicken or the egg? You don't know.
Oh my God. I wish we could talk about it, but we
We
can't.
can't. It's not a segment.
No. I am going to just add, though, I didn't know if you knew this, that did you know that pumpkin seeds are also called pepitos?
No, that's a fun word.
We should be
Hey,
saying that
Pepito.
every day we should be saying that. Because a friend at work, Jacqueline, her husband made pizzoli. Eddie likes to cook, and he made pizzoli, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. So we had to look up the recipe so I could see what's in it. It had hominy in it, and I'm like, I don't know what hominy is.
Oh,
And
that's a southern thing.
it's big ass corn. Um,
Yeah.
so I didn't realize that it is. So I learned that it said pepitos had to be one of the ingredients, and I looked it up. And it's pumpkin seeds. Why are they acting like so fancy schmancy? Come
I feel like
on.
Peppa the Pig eats pepitos.
Maybe. I couldn't tell you. They never call me Peppa the Pig.
Well,
I
plus she's
don't.
British, so
Oh,
who knows?
oh, she's a she. I didn't know how she identified because I don't know. My segment that didn't make it as a segment is why do we call this little thing that we use for computers? Why do we call it a mouse when we could be calling it a cursor dragger?
I think
Let's
you and I should start calling it a cursor dragger.
take your cursor dragger and drag it over. It's a cursor
Take,
dragger.
take your cursor clicker, click and
Cursor
drag
clicker. It's like the remote, the clicker.
the clicker.
Well, we did it again. We made a whole episode, Robert. Look at us.
We did, we did. Do you want me to ask you the questions now, or since this is I think
Oh,
it's Scotch Ovaries podcasting? Um,
oh, that's a typo that I made. That's fun.
I
Let's share that
invited
with the
with pleasure.
folks. So I don't know if you techie folk out there have realized it, but we're on Zoom. So I named the meeting Scotch Ovaries Podcast Recording because apparently I made a typo.
You know what? I think like Scotch is very much a dad's drink. So
It is.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure some ladies drink Scotch, but I bet the majority of Scotch drinkers are dads.
They are.
So
If a lady's having it, it's a 7 and 7. Remember from Bridesmaids? You'll like it. It's sweet. I would love to do the 10 questions. Do you think we have time? Are they still with us?
yeah, we can. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. We'll do the 10 questions, which was originally something done by Bernard Pivot, and then James Lipton did a version of it on the Actor Studio TV show, and there are 10 questions to ask people. And
Okay.
I'm going to do it off the cuff without thinking.
Okay.
Well, Mary, how is that different from every other day?
Okay, the first one. What is your favorite word?
Look, I'm thinking. Look at that. Caramel.
Caramel. Okay, that's good. What's your least favorite word?
Caramel. Just fucking pisses me off every time.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Anything authentic and funny. Those two things combined.
Okay. What turns you off?
Oh. When I meet someone for the first time and they look me up and down.
Oh, yeah, that is gross.
Yeah, don't do
Um,
that.
what is your favorite curse word?
Motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, you gotta go classic.
Classic motherfucker.
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you love?
Children laughing.
That's a good one.
Thank
What
you.
sound or noise do you hate?
Oh. I'm gonna piss off those Nick fans, but it's sneakers squeaking on the floorboards at a basketball game.
What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
This is. Can I have a caveat that I would be physically able to do it, no
Sure.
matter what? Not with my current body, but like with the. Okay, I would like to have. This is gonna. I would like to have worked at a circus as a performer
Oh,
of some kind. I don't know where that came from. I'm just throwing
oh.
it out there, but I just was filled with,
One of my daughter's best friends is in the circus in Tallahassee, so
oh, that's
I
wild.
could hook you up.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Uh,
it, but this,
yeah.
I couldn't even get in and out of a clown car right now.
What profession would you not like to do?
Server.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't even have
People
to
tell
think
me.
about. Yeah, I can't think about it. No.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, this one I've always had locked and loaded. Your family and friends are all here. They're at a table in the back. They've been waiting for you.
Aw, that's a really good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
They'd
Yeah,
be
or
like,
we're not so sure, but it turns out you're your mom's plus one. That's my second choice. So we'll let you in.
like, thanks, Ma.
Exactly. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Yeah, yeah. Happy Father's Day to all those who celebrate, the dads, the granddads, the children with dads.
Yeah, the brothers, the new dads, the old dads, the moms that are dads,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the dads.
all the
So
dads. And
all the dads,
well, thank you
all the
guys for
family.
joining us on this very special episode. Aren't they all special,
They're
everybody?
all special.
They're
Yeah,
all
they are.
special. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Scooch
Huge
Hey,
Ovaries.
can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch Ovaries.